Hi everybody, my name is Andy Chan. I'm an RCIC. Well, if you're new to the channel, welcome. In this particular watch list, what I do is I provided a free spreadsheet model I first created when I was studying for my RCIC. And what it does is uh, takes various scoring and generates reports for the various federal and many of the provincial programs. I wouldn't say all. So why the reason why I created it is because uh, at first I decided I needed a study guide when I was studying for my RCIC, but then I realized later on that I didn't see anything out on the market that was freely available as a reporting tool for practitioners to use. So I'm providing the spreadsheet for free because I thought I could maybe help some other immigration practitioners, including RCICs and immigration lawyers. If you've come onto my channel looking to immigrate to Canada, I highly suggest that you seek out a a RCIC who can help you figure out the right pathway for you. Typically, a competent RCIC focus on focus on different PNPs, and so what I'm trying to do is to have as many PNPs calculated all in one. So even given that maybe that RCIC can help you maybe find another way into Canada if you're open to, say, looking at living in some other provinces. So anyways, in this particular video, what I want to do is I want to focus on the Ontario PNP nomination stream for foreign workers. So what I'll do is I'll walk you through the web page where I'm getting the criteria from, and then I will walk through how I calculated out the criteria in the spreadsheet. And note that in the spreadsheet, I focus on the qualifications of the applicant. So, for example, I prompt for the applicant's birth date, language scoring, education, and work experience. Well, the areas I don't cover is the criteria for the job offer, the size of the company, and those kind of things. I don't see moving forward in incorporating that in. The other thing is this particular stream assumes that the applicant has a job offer. Because I designed this as an analysis tool, for the time being, I don't put in a flag indicating that the applicant has a job offer because, quite frankly, realistically, almost it's very rare that somebody has a job offer that spans the entire country. So I decided to leave that out because I just wanted to show, for analysis purposes, if that person has the right qualifications, then maybe you as a practitioner can help steer that applicant to perhaps the right province, and then help them find an employer that's willing to give them a job offer. So that's a part of what I'm trying to do as well. So anyways, let's get started. So I'll start with the web page first again, and then I'll look at the Excel file, and then after that I'll just summarize everything with a slide deck. Okay, I try not to bounce around the various screen too much because the screen capture software I'm using is a little finicky. So okay, so sorry, let me just go back for one sec. So this is the Ontario ONI IP page, and I'm looking at the foreign worker stream, and this is based on a nomination, I believe. Yeah, you must register for the expression of interest, and it's based on a nomination. Yeah. So anyways, Here's the page, and I'll just go over the areas that are pertinent to the calculation. Firstly, the job offer must be in a skill type 0, A, or B. And what I've done in the model is that I take the primary occupation as the same as the knock code of the job offer. And not only that, the calculation filters out uh, by work experience for that knock code only. So, so I'm trying to tie everything together in one calculation. So the job offer itself is must be full time. Again, I don't really look at the criteria of the job offer aside from the knock code. I do have a data entry point for the medium wage level and also the applicant's historical wages because that's for points in Ontario for some streams. Yeah, that's the other thing. Ontario, I'm covering six streams. This is one of them. Each one does. I haven't seen. I've seen two streams share the same scoring factor, but aside from that, almost every single one has a very unique characteristic to it. So, luckily, the model was able. I was able to accommodate, I think, fairly accurately what each of the requirements are for the six streams that I cover. Okay, so median wage, again, I do have a prompt for that. But again, I don't test to see whether the wage meets the medium level of the knock code in the job bank. Okay, I don't really test for a number four position is urgently needed or work based in Ontario. The applicant requirements. Okay. So the expression of interest. Uh, that's one of the assumptions I'm making that the province of Ontario is already uh, given a invitation to apply. And here's the work experience. Okay, so the work experience requirement for that knock code of the job offer and the primary occupation is 2 years of cumulative paid full-time work experience within the last 5 years. So I'll show you where in the model I calculate that. Okay, the other thing is it says here if your work experience was gained in Canada, you must have legally living and working in Canada. Some of the other streams they specify that work during a study permit in Canada cannot be counted. In this particular stream, I don't see the language, therefore I'm not filtering it out. Okay, but what I am filtering out is this criteria down here. The work must be at least 15 hours per week. Um, that is one criteria that's fairly unique to Ontario for most of the streams that I've covered. So I'll show you I'll show where this criteria is calculated inside the model. Work more than 30 hours per week isn't counted. That's pretty standard. Vacation periods, that criteria I think is pretty standard. Valid licensing, I don't really have a prompt for that when the license was granted. Intention to live in Ontario, that's assumed. Legal status in Ontario, that's assumed. Employer requirements, okay, I don't really have any type of evaluation for the employer requirements. I think, yeah, there's revenue requirements, and I think number of employees and those kind of things. But here's what the model calculates. It's the scoring factors. And this scoring factor is out of 50 points. Okay, so 10 for the knock skill level, 10 for the knock type, for the wage Canadian work experience, knock the knock skill level of the work experience, and the earnings history, and whether and where the job offer is. So the report in the spreadsheet is based on summarizing this fairly quickly. So the intention of the Excel file is a templated report that you can take, put your own letterhead, and I think it's pretty good at attachment. If you want to put that in your application package for your client. Okay, so this is really what I'm covering inside the model. Okay, one note I want to mention is that there's inside this scoring factor and inside the stream itself, there's no language requirement or minimum language requirement. Obviously, since it's for by nomination, the it'll the I guess be nomination for part of a federal program. So whatever federal program this is going to be nominated for the CRS, it'll be part of that criteria. So don't start thinking that there is no language requirement. There's like to have your applicant get through the CRS system, because obviously there's a minimum language requirement in one of the three federal programs. So, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that for this particular stream, there's nothing formalized for the minimum language. All right, so again, I'm focusing on these calculations here. Okay, so I am presuming that you've seen my past videos, but I'll try my best to, I don't want to be too redundant, but I do want to cover where everything is calculated, and I'll show you the report. So 1 second, I'll just navigate there. Okay, here's the Excel file. So I have one tab for the six streams that I'm covering. I decided to put everything onto one tab. Maybe in future versions, I will break it out into 6 different tabs, but I decided to put everything in one because this is a model that I'm building with some of the other provinces. If you right click on the menu on one tab and unhide, you'll see the other PNP programs that I've already put in. So at this point in time, I've got BC, Manitoba. I'm doing Ontario now. And so this is the third version of the file. So as time progresses, you will see more and more. Okay, so let me go back down to where this report is. So wanted to highlight that there's the scoring is out of 50 points, you see there, which matches the web page. And again, there's a job offer needed and 2 years of experience in the last 5. And the knock code must be 0A or B. Let me just change that. Okay. Okay, so the gray cells are formula cells that are being referenced, there's reference to another calculation. And the yellow cells is where the data entry is. So this cell is just whatever the primary occupation is, primary knock. And if I go up here, it's a cell reference. And since I'm providing this file for free, you can modify the file as you see fit. Frankly, one of the hardest things I'm finding is formatting this in a nice, clean manner. There's just so many calculations, and I did it a certain way, but since I'm giving this file away, you can format it to your own needs. So anyways, the data entry for that is just one data entry. I have a data validation for the cell, meaning you'll see a little drop down and a filter by the 4-digit NOC code. Moving forward, I'm actually studying the difference between the 4-digit and the 5-digit. So since I'm using this file as a validation for another larger project, maybe I'll come back and redo this. But anyways, for the time being, I've inputted all the 4-digit NOC codes as a validation for the primary occupation. So scrolling a little more, down here is the number of hours. So what I've done is, and if you're not familiar with it, I'm using a sum is formula. And I'm summing this column, filtering out for the NOC code and whether or not it's greater than or equal to 15 hours per week. And I'll show you how that works. So there's nothing in here right now, but I was playing around with some sample data. So let me just change one of these rows. So I was thinking I'm using what, 2253. So each one of these rows represents one work record. What I'm calculating is the number of hours within the last 5 years. And to qualify for the stream, you need cumulative hours from the last enough for 2 years, which is 3,120 hours. So what I'm doing is I'm summarizing from this column N in this case. So what these columns represent is the number of hours within a defined duration. So then because there's a start date and an end date, what I do is I use formulas to recalculate what the start date is, so that since there's so many different programs, column L represents how many hours within the last 2 years. The next column over is the last 3 years. N, which we are using in this case, 5 years, and then 10 years in column O. So if I use, maybe I'll use this column here, 2253. So I'll scroll up. There's really no easy way in Excel to scroll than using the arrow. So 2253 I think I used. Okay, so 2253, and in the last 5 years this person has 2,300 hours. Notice the last 2 years is a slightly lower value, because that's how the formula works. So I'll come back here, and there it is. It was blank before, and now I'm getting 2,300 hours. Okay, it says 2 years of work experience. Actually, what I'll do is while I'm here, what I'll do is I'll actually put in the words 3,120 hours, so that it's clear. Okay, so for that, so far this person has the 2,300 hours, and it's coming from here. So what I'll do is I'll maybe actually change another row. Actually, I'll do this one. It's there's some other this cell is red because there's validation, because this I put in some conditional formatting, because the end date of this work record comes after the start date of the subsequent record. So I just some conditional formatting. So but anyways, I will change this to the same NOC. Oops, missed it. So now I believe I should have the summary of 1,298 hours plus 2,300 hours. And there you go. And again, it's just a simple sum if formula. Okay. The other thing I want to show is the only other filter is the part-time hours has to be greater than or equal to 15. So say I drop this to 14, and then I should be only picking up the hours from this row now, which is 1298. And there you go. So that's pretty straightforward. So the next section is basically just calculations based on this data entry tab. Everything here is actually really simple. You can see they're just cell references. And then the points is basically formulas based on the points that were mentioned on directly off the web page. So I don't think we need to get into how each one of these works, because these ones are actually really straightforward. Okay, so I think that's it. This is going to be a short video. So let me go to the slide deck now. So in summary, this is one of the 6 streams that I'm covering inside the model. This one requires a job offer, and the job offer has to be a NOC 0A or a B. And then what I do is I summarize everything in the column in the work grid for the last 5 years. And the other thing, so the work grid formula there just summarizes the number of hours. It's then a sum ifs formula which filters out for that particular NOC code and only hours greater than or equal to 15 hours per week. Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm describing there. And the calculations are based on the scoring factor at the bottom of the web page. And this is the report. So here's the web page. Here's the report for the web page. Obviously, it doesn't look quite the same, but again, since you have the formulas now, you might want to tweak it to look a little closer to here. We have three columns wide each, but I don't know. To me, it makes just as much sense to have all your data in one column. Okay, and then to quickly reiterate again, I don't cover the employer requirements, the applicant's requirements, whether it's licensed or not. And I just want to make one last note that there is no language requirement for the stream, but since it's for nomination, don't ignore that. All right, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you for your attention, and I do hope that I am providing some value if you do decide to use my file as a template. I always put a fair amount of logic into the formula, so I do think I'm a little closer to the mark versus you starting from scratch, especially with those calculations for the work hours. And actually the language testing, all the points and the CLB levels, because those formulas actually took quite a bit of work too. But anyways, thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.